Hello dear students, in this session we are going to learn very interesting topic, that is parallel circuits. Parallel circuits. The parallel circuits. Already you have seen circuits connected, our elements, our heroes, resistance and inductance and capacitance connected in series in different combinations. We find that what is the resultant current, what is the power factor, what is the power consumed by the total circuit we have seen. We simplified all problems. Coming to the parallel circuits, if these elements are connected across each other, already you have seen in second year level, a parallel circuit consists of the two or more branches connected in parallel in case of the DC. As in parallel DC circuits, the voltage across each branch is same, but the current flowing through them is different in magnitude and phase angles depending on the branch impedances. So, whereas in DC, the current is the only resistance values, but here what will happen? So, not only this resistance, here is a inductive and capacitance. Here is only one sun. Here these are two daughters along in AC circuits due to the frequency. So, in DC there is no frequency. Now, in this frequency is the Indian frequency the 50 Hz due to these two fellows come in the picture. Okay. So, we are going to connect it. What you have seen in previous cases, this resistance and inductance and capacitance connected simply with help of the voltage source, and the current which is flowing through the circuit is XL and XC. Simply the current is same across all XL, XC. The voltage applied here, but the voltage across the resistance is different, voltage across this is different, voltage across this is the different. Current is same, but voltage is divided. Voltage is divided based on its ohmic value. Similarly, in AC circuits, in parallel circuits, what you are going to do it? So, you are connected the resistance and inductance and capacitance connected here. So, these are all R, L, C connected in this one here. What is happened here? The voltage is same, but what is happened? The current is here divided. So, here the current is equal I1, I2 and I3. But in this case current is same, voltage is the VR, VL, VC in this case. In this case the voltages across each branch is same, but the current is equal, total current is from the supply is equal. So, we can the IR plus IL plus IC. Okay. These are the currents flowing in the circuit. Okay. So, I think dear student, so we will see in details one by one methods. Okay. So, here what are the methods of solving the parallel circuits? This is a basic parallel circuits. If this combination may be changes, sometimes we connect to the some resistance is sister, here some resistance and younger sister capacitor. Then what is the resultant value here? Then if resistance here, and sometimes we can connect to the any combination. Okay. So, we can connect to the this inductance Here I connected the resistance and capacitance, and here connected the some capacitance and inductance also. So we are going to the different configurations we can connect. So here only one thing is the voltage is same across the branch, but so you are going to divide the current value. This is a different current value, I1 and I2 and I3 value you have to find. That is based on the, so for example, here this is a range Z1, here range is the Z2, here range is the Z3. Here Z1 and Z2. Okay, such a way that we are going to do it. So let us let us do this one on math. What are the different methods to solve this one? Dear students, so series circuit we can solve very easily, but in parallel circuits we have to keep in mind that there is some complex circuits may be arises. Hence, so we have to take care while doing the some calculations. Okay, so these parallel circuits can be solved by major famous methods, or one is a vector method. We can solve these simplifications by vector method. Second one is the admittance method. Admittance method. Another is the phasor method. Phasor method. That means, so we can using the vector method, we can calculate in parallel circuits, and by using the admittance method we are going to calculate, and phasor method also we are used to calculate the parallel circuits. Let us see one by one method. So how we are going to calculate the same current I1, I2, I3 and power factors, powers consumed by each branch. Okay, let us do one branch, that is equal to, now here we can take the one branch. So I can take the one color here. Now you can see the one branch. So here first method is the vector method. Vector method. What is the vector method here? So vector method. In vector method, let us draw one simple circuit. Simple circuit, you can take it. Okay. Now here I connected the one resistance, one capacitance. Now here another resistance, inductance connected here. Now it is connected to source, connected to such a that. Okay, here components you can take it. This is equal to R1 C1 capacitance. This is equal to R2. This is equal to L2 inductance. Now current flowing in circuit is equal to I1. The current across this is equal to I2. The current here flowing is the I current. Okay, so applied voltage is equal to V voltage. Same voltage across the two branches. Okay, let us take this is a branch 1 and branch 2. Okay, this is a circuit. Let us take the first branch. Branch 1 for branch 1 resistance value is given, R value is given in ohmic value, so no problem. Here the value C is given, you have to convert the XC. Okay, here C1 is a XC1. What is the XC1? XC1 is equal to 1 by omega C1. Okay. Then you know this XC value, XC1. Now if you know that, find the Z1, the impedance of the first branch. So that you can write it. So what is the value? R1. This is the resistance R1. Okay. Now here given the minus J of XC. This is the Z1 value because it is a capacitive circuit. That is why I kept the minus value. Now what is the magnitude? I can write it. So R1 whole square plus XC whole square under root. So I am going to Z1 value. So I know that this is the Z1 value on first branch. If you know the Z1 impedance value, if you know the voltage, I can find the what is the current here. Okay. Then what is the current? I can find the current here. I is equal to V by I1 is equal to V by Z1. V is the common for this one. Okay. So we know the V, we know the Z1 here. So I can easily calculate what is the current. Now we know that the here vector diagram, the impedance triangle. This is equal to R, this is equal to XC, this is equal to phi, this is equal to Z1. Okay. Then I want to know that what is the this angle phi 1. So phi 1 I can write it, that is equal to tan inverse. I can write the tan inverse. Tan phi 1 is equal here XC1 divided by R1. You know this value, you are going to find that. Then what is the phi 1? So phi 1 I can calculate, that is equal tan inverse of XC1 by R1. So this is the value. Okay. What is the angle here? So this angle always is a leading, that is the angle is the leading. So because here what is the value I, this is the voltage range, current is taken as a reference. Now what is the power factor? Cos phi 1. So cos phi 1 is equal to this one, cos is equal to here R1 by Z1. So here what is that one? Current is leading here, power factor lead. So I1 leads the applied voltage V by angle of phi 1. So this is a branch details. What we have seen, so whatever the value R1 C1, we calculate the Z1, from that one we calculate the I1, from that one we calculate the cos phi 1 and at the same time phi 1 also. Similarly calculate the branch 2 also. This is a branch 1, this is the branch 2. So how many branches? Similar, this is a similar way. Okay. Now coming to the branch 2 now. What is the branch 2? Here R2. Okay. So we will take the another color here. So branch 2. What it contains the branch 2? So one resistance and inductance. Okay. So branch 2 resistance and inductance connected. This is R2, this is the XL2 inductive. So direct R2 is resistance is given, R2 is equal direct in ohmic value, simply R2 ohms. But here given the L2 is given, you have to convert the, okay, you have to convert the omega L. Okay, what is the omega L? We are going to the 2 phi f L. So what you have seen here? Okay, correct. Now this is this one. Now you know this value, find the Z2 impedance value. So you know this value, find the Z2. What is the Z2? Z2 is equal to R2 plus J of XL2. Okay. Now R2 we know, what is the magnitude? Z2 I can write it. So R2 whole square plus XL2 whole square under root. Okay, this is the ohmic value. If you know the ohmic value, so I know this Z2 value, I know the voltage across this branch, then I can know, I want to know the I2 current. What is the I2 here? So I2 is equal to, I can write it, I2 is equal to V by Z2. Okay, so here V is equal to is given and Z2 is equal to whatever the value, that is equal to root of R2 whole square plus XL2 whole square under root. Then we are going to get it in amperes. Then I2 known. After that, so you are going to draw the once again the impedance triangle. What is the impedance triangle? This is the R2, this is the XL2, this is the Z2, this is the phi 2. Okay, then based on this one, what is the phi 2? So we can write it phi 2 is equal to, or you can the tan phi 2 is equal to, we can write it. So tan is equal to, so opposite by this one, XL2 divided by R2. Okay, so what is the phi 2 here? So phi 2 angle, phase angle is equal tan inverse of, okay, XL2 by R2. This is the formula. Now what is the power factor? Cos phi is equal to here R2 by Z2. So here we calculated all values similar to the branch 1. Okay, so this value we calculated. So everything is calculated. Now we are going to find that this is the simple circuits. Okay, step 1. Okay, what is this step 1? Step 1. In step 1 we calculated all relevant values. What is the I? What is the phase angle? Okay, and what is the I2? What is the phase angle phi 2? So based on these values, so here step 2, so we are going to do that. In step 1, what we are get? So I1 at the same time phi 1 and Z1 we know, okay, and cos phi 1 I know, and I2 phi 2 Z2 cos phi 2 we know. Okay, from these values we are going to draw the one phasor diagram. Okay, let us draw the one phasor diagram. Take the black better. So here phasor diagram, based on this one you are going to draw the phasor diagram. This is the one phasor diagram. You take it, this is a reference voltage, you take it 0, this is a Y, cap positive, negative Y. Now in this case, what is the I1? I1 at angle of phi 1. I1 is the magnitude you know. Okay, so I know the magnitude at angle of phi 1. So from this one I can write the another diagram. So here I can take the this one. Okay, so this is the so I can write the this is I1 at angle of phi 1. Okay, now coming to the another circuit, you can take the another phi 2. Here I2 at an angle of phi 2. So, here what will happen? I2 in the circuit. So, the current is this one based on the this I2 at phase angle. What is the phi 2? This is the phi 2. Clear? Now, based on this one, just you join these two values. So, we are going to join it. Now, draw the parallelogram. Okay. So, you are going to draw the parallelograms. Then I can draw the one line which is connected here. So, this is known as the current. Vector sum of I1 here, I is equal to I1 vector sum plus I2 vector sum. Now, by parallelogram, so what we have done? So, this is I1, okay, this is I2, we are drawing the parallelogram, we are going to get the I current. Now, this current is equal to, we can write the phi, okay, that is a step 2. In step 2, based on the step 1 current, its angles, draw the phasor diagrams. This is known as a phasor diagram. Okay, phasor diagram, step 2. After that, step 3, dear students. What is the step? This one. So, step, we take another color. So, step 3. In step 3, find the phasor sum branch currents either by parallelogram law or method of components. There is a two methods popularly to find the resultant values. I want the I, okay. So, the I can be, this I is a vector sum of I1 plus I2, this is a current. Now, so we are going to use here the components method. Okay. So, here you can write it the x component of I1 and I2. So, what is the x component here? So, you can write it. So, we can resolve this I1 into x component and y component, I2 x component and y component. Okay. From that we are going to do the calculations. Now, so I1 resolved into this on this one, this is a x component, this is a y component. Similarly, I2 also resolved into x component and y component, this is a x component. Okay. That means, whatever the I1 resolved into the x axis and y axis. So, here I am going to get it x components. So, that is equal to x component of I1 and I2. Okay. So, here we can write it the Ixx both currents. So, what is the x component? So, this is the x component of here, I1 x component here, and this x component of here only. So, I can write it I1 cos phi 1. Okay. So, this is the x component here. So, we can write it here I1 cos phi 1. So, both are positive plus this component I2 cos phi 2. Dear students, do not confuse. What is happened? Here the components, whatever this component here, that is I1, I resolved into this component. This is a x component, this is a y components, so phase angle. So, I1 into cos phi is the x component. Similarly, say in second case I2, that is the current, this I2. So, this is also resolved into the y component and x component. Okay. This is the x, this is a y component, phase angle this one. So x component I2 into cos phi 2. So same thing I written here. Now I written this value, I written this value. Now similarly Iyy is equal y component. So this component and this component I want to write it. Okay, here the positive y, this is a negative y, you can remember it. So write it I1, what is this one? I want the sine phi 1 minus, because minus y, I2 sine phi 2. So these are the two components. So what are the vectors is given, whether 2 branches or 3 branches or 4 branches, any branches, resolve into the x components and y components. Add all x components, add all y components. Resultant is equal to root of x square plus y square is we are going to get the resultant value. Okay. This type of the problems already you have done in mathematical maths. Okay. Now we know the x component and y component. Then so what is happened? The total current, I want the x component of current, y component of the current. I require the current I square here. Okay. So that means here x components I x x, y component I y y. You got it. Now I require this current I is required. So what is that one? So if for example 0 A B, I want to know that I value. What is the formula? So OB whole square is equal to OA whole square plus AB whole square. Same the Pythagoras theorem. Now similarly I know this value, I know this value, I want to this value. Okay. So I is equal to, I can write it, that is equal to under root of this total value here. Similarly I can write it these values. So I is equal to root of I xx plus I y y square magnitude I require. Okay. So these values I can write it here. Simply substitute in this equation. What is that one? So I is equal to under root of I1 cos phi 1 plus I2 cos phi 2, okay, whole square plus I1 sin phi 1 minus I2 sin phi 2 whole square. So this is the total under root. Okay. So this is the step 3. Okay. So what are the vectors you have drawn, resolve into x components, y component. So then find the resultant current. Next coming to the step 4. Step 4. So dear student, so parallel circuits is a somewhat lengthy problems. What you have seen, first case step 1 we find that so branch currents, second step we find that the vector diagram, third step we have resolved x components, y components to find the current. Now in fourth step I am going to calculate step 4. So I am going to calculate, so it is a angle and tan theta. Okay. So this is the x component, this is the y component, this is the total current. Okay. I xx, I yy, and this is the total phi. So here I want to know what is the tan phi. Tan phi is equal to, what is the formula? So I yy divided by I xx. So x component by here y component by x component we are going to the phi. Then what is the power factor? Cos phi is equal to, what is the cos here? This one. So I xx divided by this current vector. So we are going with the cos value. Okay, so these are the steps involved in first method, vector method. Okay, so this is the final. So every circuit we are going to calculate its current, its phase angle. If required, we can calculate the power also. So very simple. First step, you find the branch currents. Second step, sum of the two branch currents. Third step, find the final whatever you required. Current, its power factor, its phase angle. That's enough. Okay. So dear students, these are the steps you have to involve. What you have to? So first step, whatever the values, you calculate the branch currents. Second step, draw the vector diagram based on the first step. And third step, based on the second step, resolve the components in vector diagram or phasor diagram into x components and y components. From this one, you find the what is the current. And fourth step, find that what is the power factor and phase angle. Okay. So these are the steps involved in vector method. Okay. So this is a very easy method. Now let us see the another. Okay, we will do the method is another method, is a different one. Okay. So dear students, you do the problems based on this one. So what are the numerical values changes? The procedure is the same. Okay. So do the problems. One problem. So here what is given? So I can directly write the one equation. Two circuits A and B are connected in parallel to a 230 volts 50 Hz supply. Circuit A consists of resistance 50 ohms in series with an inductive reactance of 100 ohms, and circuit B consists of resistance 75 ohms in series with a capacitive reactance of 20 ohms. Determine 1. The current drawn by each circuit. Second, the supply current. Third, phase angle between supply current and applied voltage. Find also the resistance and reactance of series circuit which will take the same current at the sum of the power factors as a parallel circuit. Okay. This is the problem is given, dear students. So what it has given? So based on the data, you write the one diagram. Okay. So let us draw this diagram. One resistance is given first circuit, this is equal resistance, and inductance circuit is given in branch A. In branch B, another resistance is given and capacitive circuit is connected here, and both are connected to a supply AC supply of connected here. Okay. So this is 50 ohms, and here directly is given the ohmic value. So thanks God. Now here is 75 ohms, and here also directly given the 20 ohms. Okay. So now the current which is flowing here, you can take the color other. Now the current is flowing here, I can say I1, this branch is for Z1. Okay. Now this is equal to I2, branch is equal to Z2, let us assume. The current which is flowing here, I is equal to I1 plus I2. Here the voltage is equal to 230 volts and 50 Hz. Okay. So this is a circuit. Based on this circuit, so we are going to do the problem. Okay. Let us do that one. So what is the first step? Step 1. Find the branch 1. branch 1 values. What is the branch here? Resistance and inductance are connected here. What is the value? 50 ohms and 100 ohms connected inductance value. So this current I1. I1 to the I1. That purpose I require the, what is the voltage across this one? V1. So I require the I1 and phi 1 I required. This is our aim. Okay, let us do. Then what is the Z1 here? Z1 is equal to R1 plus J of XL1. What is the R1 is given? 50 ohms plus J of 100 ohms. So from this we are going to calculate its angle. So with calculators I am going to get it directly. Z1 is equal to 111.8 at an angle of 63.43 degrees lag because inductive circuit. So I know the calculator. From the calculator I can convert the rectangular to polar. Okay, just we converted. Now in this case what will happen? The current which is lagged by the 63.43 degrees with respect to the voltage. So this is over, branch 1 over. Similarly we calculate the branch 2. Branch 2 current. What is the branch 2 current here? So that means a resistance and capacitance connected across the same voltage. 75 ohms and 20 ohms. Here current is called I2 I required, its phase angle is required. Then applied voltage is V. So from this one you are going to calculate the what is the Z2. Here Z2 is equal, I can write direct capacitive circuit. So R2 minus J of XC2 because it is a capacitive circuit. Okay, simply substitute here value 75 minus J of 20 ohms. Okay, so these are the values. Then I am going to substitute the value. So I can convert this rectangle to polar form. I am going to get it. So magnitude is equal to 77.621 at an angle of minus 14.93 degrees. That means here the current is leaded by voltage 14.93. Okay, so based on this one, this is a leading, you can write the lead or you can write this one. Okay, leading we are going to this one. Now based on the this value, this is a Z value, no? So I am going to get the Z value, this one. Now this is a Z2. So based on this one, next step I am going to find that what is the current. Okay, step is a step converted. What is the next is a I1 I required. I1 is equal to V by Z1. What is a V? 230 volts at an angle of reference. What is the Z1? That is equal to 1.8 and angle of, so Z1 I am going to get it. What is the value? So that is equal to nearly 63.43. Okay, 63.43. Okay, now it is going to value 2.057 at an angle of, it goes to the minus value, minus 63.43. That means I1 current magnitude is equal to 2.057 at an angle of, at an angle of minus 63.43. Similarly, I2 is equal to V by Z2, 230 at an angle of 0, and what is the value? We got it 77.621 at an angle of I2 value. What is the, where is I2? Minus 14.93, minus 14.93. Okay, then we are going to get it. What is the value? 230 by 77. Then we are going to get it 2.963 amperes at an angle of positive. It will become the 14.93 leading. So now what is the I2? I2 is equal to 2.963 at an angle of 14.93. So we know that, okay, once again you can see it. What we have seen in this problem. So first of all, we calculated the Z1, and from the Z1, I1 we calculated the first current, and I2 we calculated, and based on this one, so first branch 1 we calculated Z1, calculate this one, and Z1 we calculated. Similarly, branch 2 Z2 is calculated, and this Z1 and Z2 calculated. After that, we calculated the what is the I1, what is the I2, its angle. Based on the I1, I2, we have drawn this vector diagram. Okay, so how we are writing vector diagram? We know the I1, its phase angle, this is the magnitude and phase angle, and its magnitude, its phase angle. By using the parallelogram, so we drawn this I1, I2, and we drawn finally total current I. Now I want to know the I current. Then resolve the I1, I2 in x components, okay, the x components and y components. Components. So add it. We are going to x component, y component. The total current is equal to x whole square, y whole square. Then from that I am going to get the what is the current of this one. If you know this one, the phase angle, that is equal phi is equal to tan inverse of y components by x component. Then I am going to get the, this is the angle, that is the lagging. Okay, so these are the problems we have seen similar to the previous case. Let us summarize what we have seen in this session or in this problem. So this is a numerical problem, so very easy, you can see it. What you have seen? Step 1. In step 1, we find that Z1, I1, phi 1. We calculated Z1 and we know the V, and V by Z1 we are going to I1 and phase angle also phi 2. And similarly Z2, from that I2 and phi 2 we calculated. So we know the I1, I2, two vectors we know. So from that we draw in the phasor diagram. And step 3, what are the phasor diagram I1, I2 resolved into the x components and y components. This is the total x component, this is the total y components. From that I am going to calculate total current is equal under root of x component whole square plus y component whole square. Then I know the current. In step 4, I want the phase angle, that is tan inverse of y component by x component. Similarly, cos phi, that is called Pf is equal to cos theta. So these are the procedure for solving the parallel circuits. Okay. So dear students, practice it 2 to 3 times, you may get the commanding on this method. Okay.